Good afternoon. We welcome the new delegates and the alternates that might be filling in, as well as the residents of our Homeowners Association. This is the District Delegate Assembly meeting. May we begin with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I see that we have every seat filled. I think that's miraculous. Before we begin any of our proceedings today, I would like to take a moment to remember a dear friend, colleague, and certainly a standout at Sun Lakes Country Club who passed away a few days, Jack Sidwell. He was ever a Sun Laker. He was on the board of directors twice. He was a delegate for a long span. He was chairperson of the Delegate Assembly. He was a golfer. He did everything. And he never turned anyone away when they asked him a question or asked for his advice or his direction. So let's take a moment, bow our heads, please, and give thanks and sympathy to the family. Thank you for that. I sure appreciate it. I was asked if is Thomas here? Chris? Yes, sir. Okay. Thomas right now is taking care of the Cinco de Mayo party, which is all over the place except in here. And we would like to hear from him before he goes back to his duties. Thomas, please.
Good afternoon. Thank you for allowing me to start first here so I can get back to my duties. But just a little update on the food and beverage department, developments, things that we've been doing and where we're at. First of all, the new menu is ready, but it's being reviewed at this time by the Restaurant and Lounge Committee and also the Board of Directors. So as soon as we get that figured out and approved, then we'll be able to implement that and put it into place. As you all know, the Sandwich has opened officially on April the 20th. We have now opened on Tuesdays as well. So the Sandwich is open Tuesday through Saturday from 7 to 3 p.m. With that said, we have a spectacular Mother's Day brunch this coming Sunday. We are at capacity, and we're very happy to know that so many people are embracing this brunch, that the chef is working so diligently in the back on with his staff to put a phenomenal brunch together. He did it for Easter, and this one promises to be even better than Easter. So we are very excited about that. We have over 500 reservations already, and we will have a live jazz saxophonist playing during brunch. We also have planned Father's Day brunch and also the 4th of July buffet after the parade, which will be here in the ballroom. So all the figures have been worked out for that, and the committee is aware of that, and they will get that published and implemented so people can know what's going on in the future. We also are working on Charity Week, which is coming. It's around the corner. Lots going on. But we are ready to take that on and help out wherever we can and make all of the events a successful one. With that said, staffing is coming along. We have hired new staff members, and also I do have a new assistant, Katia Daniel, who is my new assistant here in the restaurant. She's a big help to me, and I'm blessed to have her, and I'm grateful that we were allowed to hire her. With her to give me assistance. We are taking on many events and lots of banquets, and we continue to do our best to open up the facilities and try to get it open all the way. Tuesdays, the bar and lounge is open from 3 to 8 p.m. Again, the sandwich is open, as we said, on Tuesdays now from 7 to 3. And then we have taken on bingo again, which is here in the ballroom, with the exception of the first of the month. And we are providing a bingo buffet for the people that are attending that. And we also have a portable bar here in the room that they can access as well. So we have lots of things going on. I'm very grateful for the support of the community, and we look forward to opening the veranda, of course the pool here in the near future. And again, I want to thank you for these amazing automatic doors that were just opened today to go out to the veranda. They are officially completed, and we can access our veranda now with automatic doors instead of having to use push doors. And they couldn't have come at any time sooner. We're so happy that we were able to get it for today and also for all the events coming up. So thank you for that. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else to report unless anybody else has questions.
Thank you, Thomas. Thank you for
Thank you.
taking
Thank you
away
so
from
much.
your position, and we'll see you next month. Anyone that doesn't take advantage of our food and beverage operation, the cuisine, the menus, the new menus, and the pricing is missing the boat. You want to go to Alphabees or Sizzler or one of those out there and walk away with a $50 bill or 60, and you can do a lot better here, believe me. To begin with, I think we better have approval of the March 3rd, 2022 District Delegate Meeting minutes. May I have a motion, please? I have a motion. Do I have a second? Second. Are there any changes, any corrections on the part of the members? If not, please vote by saying aye. Aye. Okay, we have that out of the way. Now we have a guest speaker, Kevin Walton, who is a director of the San Gorgonio Pass Water Agency and is a resident of Sun Lakes. Kevin? Oh, where is he?
He might be out there at Sea
All right. Jason, I know that you were instrumental in asking him to come aboard. Have you heard from?
I have not. I informed him that he was on the agenda for today.
Okay. Well, if he comes in, we'll insert him into the agenda. Okay? The next item on the agenda is the election of officers of the District Delegate Assembly for the year 2022 through 24. Chris, would you take over, please?
Okay, delegates, as Joe Firmino had emailed the delegates of how this election will be conducted. First, we will take nominations from the floor for either the chair or the vice chair. What is being handed out right now, per the request from Joe Firmino, is a ballot that you will put your district name. Once the nominations are on the floor, then we will call for the vote, and you can write down who you desire to have as your district delegate chair and vice chair. Then you will sign the bottom of the ballot. Jason will tally those up, we'll pick them up and tally them, and then we will have the results announced. So with that, with permission of Joe, I'm going to open the floor for nominations for the district delegate chair or the district delegate vice chair. Well, I have one. There was one hand raised first. It was Mr. Moran.
Hi, I'd like to nominate Joe Firmino for chair.
Okay. Is there any others? How about for the vice chair? Please. Okay. Is there any other? Okay. With none others on the floor, Actually, there probably is not a need to conduct it. I would just, Joe, with your permission, I would just allow them to the delegates to raise their hands in the approval. So for the appointment of Joe Firmino as chair and Jim Moran as vice chair, please raise your hand for affirmative. Unanimous. Thank you. No papers needed. Congratulations. Jim, we'll move you around at the next meeting, okay?
I just asked Peggy, now what do I say? I do want to say thank you to each and every one of you. I can tell you that I thoroughly enjoy doing this. I'm part of Sun Lakes. I guess Sun Lakes is part of me. And as long as I can handle and do the position, I really appreciate your having confidence in me. Jim?
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's a good opportunity for me to spend some time with Joe and have him teach me a lot of the things he's learned over the way. And I know that we have so much help among us that it's just something I'm looking forward to. Can't wait to get it going. Thank you so much.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. The next item on the agenda is the Recreation Department report. Cara, please.
Good afternoon and congratulations to you all. We've had an exciting first quarter, I would say. We've had lots of fun events this year. On Monday, we had our first ice cream social, which kicks off the summer season. We had a health fair on Tuesday, so thank you again for everybody who's come out. We had our first sold-out concert in April. The Classics of Rock and Soul, that was actually a sold-out event. We sold 500 tickets to that, so thank you for all who joined in and had a great time. Some of our fun and exciting events that we're having in May, well, I don't know if I'd call it fun, but it's exciting. We are going to have a live stream blood drive on May 12th.
Hello?
Hello?
Would you remove your mask?
No, ma'am.
Well, we can't hear a word you're
Okay,
saying,
I'll
so
speak
you
a little
might
bit
as well
louder. How
not be
about that?
talking.
Okay, is that better? There we go. Okay, so live stream blood drive will be on May 12th here in the multipurpose room at the main clubhouse. We will have a COVID vaccine clinic, so if you're interested in getting your second booster, or if you need any of your other vaccines, you can do so here in the in the ballroom from 10 to 6 on Saturday. Here in the ballroom, 10 to 6. In the multipurpose room, they will also be doing testing if you're interested in that. Evenings on the veranda will start on June 1st. Music Under the Stars will start on Saturday the 25th. In July, we're going to have another comedy night on July 16th. Right now, we have kicked off our Cinco de Mayo celebration. We should start to hear the music sometime in the near future. We'll have some great music. Chris has done an excellent job with a beautiful taco bar and lots of other wonderful things on the menu for today. On Monday, there's a Meridian travel presentation in the multipurpose room at 10 a.m. for all of you who are interested in doing some additional traveling. He's got a great presentation. Matt will be here. We will have another ice cream social on Monday, June 13th. And it's never too early to start thinking about the 4th of July. We are going to have a parade on Monday, July 4th. On June 1st, you'll be able to pick up your application for your float or golf cart. So please go ahead and pick those up. We'll have those available. Like I said, June 1st. Our theme this year is America, red, white, and blue. Don't forget that this weekend starts the first of the 3 weekends for the garage sales. They'll be May 7th, May 14th, and May 21st. Does anybody have any questions? No? Yes, ma'am.
What was the date for the COVID?
COVID will be Saturday, this coming Saturday. It's the 7th. And they'll be here from 10 to 6. Yes, sir.
Wait, please please use the microphone because it doesn't record on the air.
Kara, what is the hours on the blood drive on May 12th, please?
The blood drive on May 12th is from 8 a.m. till about 1 o'clock.
Very good, thank you.
There are flyers in the lobby with a QR code. You can use your smartphone or as well as the phone number if you want to pre-register. They will also accept walk-ins. Yes, sir.
On the May 7th COVID vaccine clinic, what shots will they have available?
You'll be able to get all 4. They'll have your first and your second. They'll have your first booster and your second booster available for Pfizer and Moderna.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I know we're in a timely fashion here, but you could talk way faster than we can take notes. Could you slow down a tad?
Sure.
Thank you.
Please know that all the things that I've talked about, there are flyers in the lobby, so you can get those. They're also on Channel 97 and on the webpage. But I can get you flyers if you'd like more information. Okay? Anything else? All right, well, thank you. You all have a great day.
Thank you, Kara. Thanks for your help. The next item on our agenda is an EPAP report. We do have 3 new members of the EPAP executive team, and I want to really congratulate these ladies for stepping up and helping out our HOA. This is a worthwhile program, believe me. Dick Spalding has been monitoring it for, oh, good Lord, the last 5 years? More, Linda says. And I want to thank you for coming to his rescue and helping him. Sonia, go ahead, please.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Sonia Nigro, new to the community and very excited to be a part of this organization or committee. But I'm going to turn it over to my coworker here, Candace, and she's going to just say a few words. Thank you.
Terry couldn't make it today. My name is Candace Jenkins. And basically, we are the 3 members of the EPAP Executive Committee. EPAP is our emergency preparedness organization in Sun Lakes. The organization serves a humanitarian function by following and implementing a detailed written plan that creates trained volunteers for the purpose of managing potentially catastrophic emergent situations. Each district has a position for a district EPAP coordinator and alternate, zone captains, medical rescue team, and a program manager. The district delegate works with the coordinator in their district to support EPAP's mission. Since February, we have met with the EPAP coordinators in 2 of the companion groups. We're setting up meetings for the remaining 2 companion groups for this month. These meetings will give us material for future training sessions that they feel they need. We also discussed thoughts on how to recruit more volunteers. Next week, we are meeting with Hernan Rojas to discuss informational segments to be aired on Channel 97. We're looking into posting information under the EPAP logo on both the Good Day Sun Lakes and on the New Sun Lakers. This information may include what is needed for a to-go bag, how much water do you need for your family and your pets, or how do I turn off the water meter in my front yard. Those are just a few of the items that we will be talking about or bringing to your attention. We look forward to working with you and meeting your district goals. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Candace. And let us know when you have a management meeting so the district delegate assembly can be represented, okay? Fine, thank you. The next item on our agenda is our report from the Charitable Trust. We're all looking forward to Charity Week. David?
Thank you, Joe Firmino, and delegates and staff and residents that are here, members that are here, as well as you that are watching on Channel 97. June 6 to 12 this year is the annual Charity Week. All of the money raised goes to local charities, and we support several dozen on an ongoing basis. This year, my main report today is that the 7 helicopter companies that we contacted about someone riding the helicopter are under most of them are, 3 of them really wanted to do it this year, and they're under contract with CAL FIRE, and they said that's fire season and they cannot make a commitment for that day on June the 8th to be here to even do the helicopter ball drop. Am I going too fast? I saw someone like this. I'll speak a little slower. So we did not get the information about riding the helicopter this year, along with the original tickets that were delivered to every home. So there is tickets. There are tickets available at the ticket sale times that I will give you in a moment. But the information is out with all of the flyers for Charity Week on the entry. So $20 for a ticket, or 3 for $50. We had $3,100 worth of people wanting to ride the helicopter last year. Interesting note for you, most of the people that bought tickets were women. I am not sure about that, but anyway, you can tell the women in your district it's available again this year. So we look forward to you getting a chance to ride the helicopter this year. Ticket sales. The rest of the month on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, this has all been announced. Wednesday 3 to 6, and Saturday and Sunday 11 to 3 o'clock, and it's the entry of the main clubhouse. So we just encourage you to get your tickets for the events. Ticket sales are going on now the rest of the month on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. Charity Week is the heart of Sun Lakes in regards to the philanthropic organization that we have here, and it goes out into the community. If you were to stand at some of our gates in the morning, you would see a lot of people exiting here, and they're helping out at the libraries, they're helping out at organizations throughout the community, Beaumont, Banning, and so on. The Charity Week has as its control only the San Gorgonio Pass area where they disperse money. We do not give funds to any international or national organizations, so all of the money donated by Sun Lakers stays here in the community, and I think that's important. The next item on the agenda was a discussion in regards to our orientation last week. I wanted to know if there were any comments, any conclusions, any questions, and what have you. I'd like to bring up one thing. We mentioned last week about our agenda as we have our agenda today. We need contributions from the delegates and the alternate delegates. Remember, our assembly has 46 people involved. It's not just the 23 delegates, it's also 23 alternate delegates, which each of you as a delegate should be using the talents of the alternate delegate in your district. But this meeting every month, the assembly meeting, depends on you. It's not mine. It's our meeting. And that means that we need subjects of discussion, subjects having to do with items we might want to recommend to the board of directors to do or not do. And if I don't hear from you, I'm the one that has to look for a crystal ball item and find out what I can put on here that might be of interest. And that's not fair. It's not fair to me, but it's not fair to our HOA and to our community and to the board of directors. So I'm asking you to be more active in the community of the Homeowners Association. We, the Homeowners Association, which is all of us here, we need your help. The president and vice president and the entire board of directors is trying everything they can to better communicate. But communication means two things: information going out, reply, and suggestions and ideas going back in. So they need your help too. I don't mean to be preaching to the choir here, but I can tell you that on our agenda in the past year, I think I received 2 items from delegates, and all of the rest of the items on the agenda have been my creation, and that's not right. Okay, the second one was the election and the write-ins. I've had some questions on how the write-ins were handled. Does anybody have any question, or you want me to review it real quickly as to how that's handled? Okay, very quickly. As you notice on every ballot that you had, whether it was the ballot for the board of directors or the ballot for your own district, it had a couple of lines that said write-ins. And people would write friends. Sometimes they write in Mickey Mouse. Sometimes they write in Bill Gates. But most of the time, they write in a friend or a neighbor they feel might do a great job. And thank goodness they do. Because this year, the write-ins, the way we handle them, filled in a number of places on the assembly. Here's what Tammy does on the write-in situation. She takes a list of all the write-ins, and we had 51 write-ins, and she would call them if the position was open. It would say, would you serve? Would you fill this position? And she got a number of approvals, and it was fabulous. We went down to the point of where we only needed 2 delegates and 4 alternate delegates. And we needed a lot more, if you remember assessing the report we sent out to everyone in regards to how many positions were open on the ballot for those 2 positions. Since then, we have some volunteers that have moved up. So we only need like 1 or 2 alternate delegates, and we do need one delegate, and that's it. So, all of you, if you have any ideas, I will email the positions that are still open. I've sent an email to the board for approval on a couple of them, and we're back at full strength. As you can see today, we have every seat filled, and that's marvelous. This hasn't happened in a long time, and I expect every one of you, particularly the new ones, to be vocal and to be part of the organization. Now, let's have comments from the Board of Directors. Might I, Mr. President?
Thank you, Joe. I've been given direction already from one of the district delegates to make sure that it's brief. So I'm going to do my best to give you a brief announcement today. The board is expanding the number of committees. We're in the process of recruiting volunteers for committees. The new committees are Permanent Fact Committee, a Contract Committee, a Ad Hoc Committee considering possible expansion of the board, and a subcommittee of someone for landscaping, which we've never had before. We felt that was pretty important. The main poll opened today, and we are now using our monitors instead of the Securitas monitors, which will be more convenient, and it'll end up annual savings of about $50,000. The Greenside Bunker is scheduled to be completed on May 15th. This is for the championship course. The RV lot paving begins May 8th. Will be a 3-week period of time. You can park your RVs in our community in the meantime without getting written up. The board sessions, we're going to be changing the time effective this month. We're going to have at 3 o'clock instead of 6:30. So if you're coming to those, I hope you do. We're going to have them at 3 o'clock on the 25th of this month. The last thing is that we're expanding programming for Channel 97 and encouraging all committees, clubs, groups, district delegates to contact Hernan Rojas, 769-6652, to get some exposure on Channel 97 to enhance the programming there. And then last but not least, we're still having the listening sessions. They're doing very well. First Monday of every month in the Sandwich at 3:30. Please attend. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. First off, Joe, congratulations on being reelected to the chairmanship. And Jim, congratulations on the vice chair. Everybody, thank you for what you do as a delegate assembly, or sympathies, whichever way you want to look at it. And back to the listening sessions. We had one on Monday. We had over 40 residents there. Some of the delegates were there. It was a fantastic opportunity to hear from everybody. Ran a little longer than normal because we had so many people, so many questions. So one of the goals that the board is really looking at is getting everybody working together, getting more committees. I'd like to see more delegates get on some of the advisory committees if you can squeeze the extra time, because you do have your voice in this assembly, and if you're on committees, you'll have a second voice or other areas of having a voice. So that's our main goals for this year, and thank you again for everything you guys are doing.
Bob, are there any other members of the board that would like to speak? No? Oh, Bob, you have a question?
I'm wondering about the change in the time of the board meetings. What about people that work?
We're going to try this and see if it improves attendance. We realize that some of the people that work may not be able to attend. They can view it on Channel 97, but we're going to try it and see. We think that most of the people that are attending in the evening are not workers, so we're going to try and see this. So we'll assess it at the end of the year and see if we're missing out, but we realize it's important for them to get the information too. That's right. You won't miss dinner, you won't miss the Dodger game, and you'll be able to get home before 9 o'clock in the evening. Thank you.
Thank you. That means I won't miss the Dodger game.
I have a question.
Go ahead, please.
I'm new, Peggy
Would
Andrews.
you identify yourself? Because
Yeah,
there are so many new people.
Peggy Andrews from District 21. So I'm new. The stuff that you just listed as you went, it's hard for us to write all of that down. Is that going to be in the Sun Lake magazine, or is there someplace that we can get that information? It's
Yes.
hard for us to write it all down and know, because if we wrote everything down and put everything in our newsletter for our district, we'd have 16 pages.
Excellent question. It's called the Message from the Master Board, and it comes out with your newsletter. So you will have that, and a copy will be included in your newsletter. Matter of fact, there'll be other announcements included in there. I didn't read them all off because I was given directions.
I have one question. Is there a schedule out for the paving per district yet? Do we have it? I know the RV is scheduled, but have we got a schedule for the paving?
So it was on the website and it was e-blasted. And Mr. Schleiden can ask or can provide some more updates.
I have a question. Raylene Kretschmann, District 7.
Just a second, please.
This was to...
Just a minute, please.
Okay, as far as the paving schedule for the seal coating throughout the community, Huron is going to post it by the end of the day, I believe, tomorrow at the latest. It'll have it's all color coded. It'll match the street, so it should be self-explanatory. There's a cover sheet that details all the specifics that go with it. It's the same thing we've done the last 20 years. So 7 a.m. to 5, roads are closed. Obviously, if needed, emergency vehicles can come and go, as they will, but parking will not be cited throughout the community during those days of seal coating. So it's 5 total days of seal coating. They are going to do one Tuesday, which will affect trash, but trash, we've contacted with Waste Management. They'll do an early pickup. So should be no issues other than the normal issues we've had over the last 10 years since I've been on site. Any other questions? Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark. There was a question over here. Go ahead.
Raylene Kretschmann, District 7. The board decided to change the general meeting, correct, to 3 p.m.?
Yes.
What was that predicated on? And again, to reiterate, what about the working people?
Yes, as I had mentioned previously, we felt that we were not getting a very good turnout, and so we wanted to try something different, and we tried to set it up where more people can come and not interfere with dinner, not interfere with the Dodger game, and going to bed earlier. And I checked with First Service. They have 8 other communities in Southern California that they manage. None of them have evening open sessions. They're all in the afternoon. So we thought we would try it and see if we can get a better turnout and a better response from our community. Thank you.
I can add to that, Bob, that most of the HOAs in the desert all have afternoon meetings anywhere from 2 to 5 o'clock. That data was available years and years ago, and it was surprising. We still hung on for 6:30 at night and probably restricted our attendance. Next report would be from the administration, our executive general manager.
No updates. Bob has already provided the updates.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
In the past, early on, when there were items that would concern a certain group of people or all of us, and we all felt were very important, part of the agenda would mention those things. And there's some of the things that you're planning on doing I think should be on the agenda, so if the members want to attend the meeting, then they can ask questions and make their comments, because if we don't know until the day of the night of the meeting and we're watching it on Channel 97, then we don't get the opportunity to respond. Like when they wanted a dog park and things like that, you know, and you want to expand the committees and a lot of the things that I know you have planned. It would really help if you'd put that on the agenda so we could attend.
Yes, no, actually, I don't know if you were at the last open session, but they were on the agenda. They were on the agenda and they were approved and they were discussed.
May I interject something? In the past, the agenda for the open board meeting was sent out to all the delegates on Friday. I don't think that is happening anymore.
We're going to make that happen, Joe.
And when, because a number of the delegates would turn around and send that out to their email list so that we and you would have distribution of the agenda for the open board meeting into our community. Because nobody's going to walk up here and look at it on the bulletin board or even go to the Facebook. I know that. Go ahead, please.
That's a good idea to advise them.
Well, one of the items that was not brought up on the agenda was there's a big discussion about the future of our restaurant. And I think a lot of people would have had comments on that. It was something that was not up to be passed or anything like that, but it was mentioned.
Was that I think that, excuse me, you're talking, I don't think it was on the agenda, it was on a committee report from the Restaurant and Lounge. Those we don't in advance, because they'll give their reports. We don't have those reports in advance. So I know what you're asking, if things that the committees bring up can be agendized. If it's at the board level to vote on or new business to discuss, it will be on the agenda. As far as committee, staff doesn't, nor the board gets it in advance of what the committee will be updating. But there is a desire from the board, though, to ensure that all committees, though, provide either a verbal or written report at the open meetings.
Go ahead, Renaud.
I had a delegate that was pretty upset with the fact that the restaurant survey was not completed at the last meeting, and I would like to know when the results of that survey is going to come out.
Who conducted that survey?
The restaurant committee, somebody did.
That matter was tabled There was many reasons for the tabling. Basically, we felt there was only 90 respondents, and 45 voted in a particular manner. We felt that maybe if we did an additional survey, we could get more people involved. The other thing is that one of the names chosen for the lounge was the Oasis, which is the same name that the restaurant is for the lakes across the way. And we're also considering lounge expansion this year as one of the possibilities. So the board felt unanimously that it was better to table it, not to just say no, but just temporarily table it and review it again at a later date. Thank you.
Bob?
If there's a survey, I think we found out over the years that if you would give it to the delegates assembly, we would send it, or you can present it here, and each delegate would make sure that their zone captains or have it printed with their newsletter. You could send it to the 2 printers. And that way we would have distribution to the entire HOA. And I guarantee you we would do a better job than we did on our own, and we only had 500 and some replies. But that was a terrible showing on our part. It's going to be better. Bob?
Yeah, I totally agree. You know, the more respondents you have, the more participation, the better the response you're going to have on any survey, on any issue.
Bob, there's a survey going around right now. I'm not sure what it is. It's from a DESE. Have you heard of that one?
DESI, yeah, that's not affiliated with the board or the HOA generated or delegate generated. That's
So-
an individual member.
It's something strictly off somebody's email.
Right, it's not an official, Joe's right about it, using the delegates or the board or the communications marketing committee will generate that. That one that's going out is not an official one done by the HOA.
Can I speak again?
Go ahead, Ray.
I believe the reason this person was upset was because we had asked for input, and the input was available the night of the meeting, and they were upset because the input wasn't given, the results of the survey.
The matter was tabled, and basically it's going to be reviewed. I would like to consider maybe through the district delegates or the communication committee to have an additional, more extensive survey. But the matter was tabled. It wasn't just no. So just let the person know. And if they have any other concerns, please have them contact the board directly.
Good. Thank you, Bob. Thank you for
Yes.
that. Jason, you have any comments, please? No? Okay. Reports or comments from our delegates. How about Daniel? You want to start? Bring it across, if you will. Next.
No, I don't have anything to add. Thank you.
Peggy? Okay. As you notice on the agenda, we go through a report or a comment, if you want, from the administration, any of the board members who might be here, the board of directors, the administration, and then the delegates or the representative who might be sitting there. So, Barbara, you're next. Okay, Linda, please.
First of all, I want to say that I was a write-in for District 19, and I'm pleased that I can step up to the plate and help that district. I happen to know almost half of the people that live in that district, so that's a plus. And Joe, I do have an alternate, and she lives in District 19, so we're moving forward as far as that goes. And then, are you going to talk about Jack and the card? You're going to do that?
I just wanted to say that, we've had problems with participation of the residents, And I'm really happy to announce that District 17 has 2 events for May. One is our bocce tournament and dinner, completely sold out already, and it's not until the 21st of May. So I think we're doing a good job of maybe getting more people involved. And then the other event is some great members or residents of District 17, Al and Carol Spindon and Susie and Jim Crosby. They did this last year. The Crosbys catch fish up in Oregon, sea bass, and then they have a fish fry, and they donate the fish and all the sides. They purchase the paper plates and everything, and then 100% of the money that they raise goes towards our Holiday Wish program. So I'm going to thank them, and that's also sold out.
I don't have anything.
Hi, Judy Crail, District 15. I had a question for you, Randy. The listening sessions, would you tell me that again? What was the dates on those? And that's at the Sandwich, right?
The listening sessions will be the first Monday at 3:30 in the afternoon in the Sandwich. And there will always be 2 board members and two only. There will never be more than 2. Otherwise, we would have an improper quorum.
Okay, thank you. The second question that I had, I wanted to mention that a couple of my residents have said that they are seeing more homeless around our gates 5 and 6 at night. I don't know if there's anything that we can do about that, but what I wanted to find out is, is there any way to put the back in for the security to let people know again, like they used to, if the garage doors are left open? Is there, because they're in here, and they've been seen in here, and they're camping out there by the Gate 6 and across the street by Four Seasons. So it's just kind of a worry.
We can bring it up at next week at our executive session. And me being new to the board, I don't know what all the discussions were at that time, so I'll get myself educated on that.
Yeah, because that was nice. I mean, if somebody forgets to cook, there's so many women that are by themselves. So just...
The other thing is that what I would suggest they do is to contact the police department.
Right.
If you see homeless people around and you see someone suspicious around, don't call Securitas, don't call your neighbor, call the police department.
I do tell them that because they call me, so that's
Good.
why.
Good.
Said, you need to call the police when you see them.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, I did tell them that. But the garage door thing was a concern.
Yeah. We'll review that again.
Okay. And then who do I contact about, I had brought this up before, that there's not much lighting on our street. So where the mailboxes are, it's so dark. But also, I reached down to open the bottom the other day, evening, after bocce, and there was a black widow spider right here. And they're everywhere in there. And there's trash that's getting thrown in there. Who do I contact to get that cleaned up?
You just did. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
They've been put on notice, thank you.
Thank you.
Evelyn?
Sorry, guys. Jean Yvonne, District 13. Since we have a lot of new people, and I wanted to just ask if there's been any change or progress on getting handbooks prepared for the alternates. It would be very nice if that could happen. And if there is going to be maybe a committee that could address new things to be put in the handbook from time to time to just add to the completeness of the handbook, and that would give Joe an opportunity to not have to reinvent the wheel every time somebody asks him a question. if we could, somebody, maybe a committee. I wanted to be on it in the beginning, but I was sick and couldn't do it, so I would be happy to help with that if a new committee or a committee is formed again to just keep updating the handbook.
I'll answer that initially, then turn it over to Joe and Jim. I had mentioned to Linda last week, and I realize now I didn't do it yet. I owe her the electronic copy of the 6 or 8 pages, whatever it was. I will get that to Linda based on our conversation last week, and then she can work with the with the delegate assembly staff to figure out the process and how you guys want to do that.
Ann Hofert, District 12. I'd like to say thank you, Bob, for responding to my little letters or big letters or long letters to you and the board, but I have not heard anything back from management yet on any of the issues that I have addressed. And I wonder if I can get those responses at some time or another. Thank you.
Yep, we will.
Pat Puckett, District 11. I don't know enough to ask any questions yet, so I will learn. Thank you.
Peggy Ritter, District 10, and I know a lot of questions, but we're fine.
Like the young lady over there, I'm too new to know how bad of situation I've gotten myself into, but I'm going to do my best, because you don't really have a right to complain if you're not willing to step up to the plate. So, that's what we all need to do. When asked, we need to step up to the plate and do our part. So let's hope I can measure up.
Yeah, and I think I just have a comment, because I know we do have a lot of new delegates, so don't hesitate to come to the people who've been at it a while. People can help you, and don't feel like you got hung out there all by yourself, okay? Thank you.
First, I'd like to thank Joe for the welcome to the new delegates that we had. That was very informative to me, and I read the bylaws, and one of the takeaways for me was this group is very important, and they seem to me, it appears that would be the watchdog of the master board. I'm appreciative to my delegates my district for appointing me delegate, and I had 2 phone calls. They're very active already. The first phone call, they asked me how to fix their shower, if I could send somebody out. That was great, and I got them to the service person. Exactly. But the second one was legitimate. I have several people that are able to drive their vehicles to the restaurant, place their order, but they can't get out of their car and go pick it up. And they are requesting if we can have something set up. I don't know if you want to call it curbside, and I don't know all the legal ramifications of that. I know there are some. But I think it's something we should look into, because they said they would be throwing a lot of money at the restaurant if they could have that option. Thank you.
There was a question that concerned that. If any of you haven't responded to the survey that's on the website about the restaurant survey, please do, because that was one of the questions, and it was about having delivery. The Sun Lakes website. I wouldn't have known it, but my wife sent it to me and made me fill it out. So,
Jesse?
It's okay, George. I'm just happy to be here, keeping my lady residents happy to serve for another 2 years. Thank you.
Bob, I was kind of hoping Michelle would be here, because I have something that should be very concerning. It should be brought to the attention of all the residents that live here in Sun Lakes. If you don't mind, I would like to show it to you.
We do not mind. I don't mind. Yes, I read that, and we read that this morning. She was going to bring it up with her committee.
Is she still going to be allowed in here?
All right, would you please just describe what's going on for us?
Basically, what it is a news story came out concerning a resident here and a legal situation. And I think what they're going to do is that Community Awareness Committee is going to get together and discuss how they should, or if they should disseminate that information.
Okay, good, very good, Bob. That has to be set aside. Yes. Go ahead.
It's still legally pending, so.
Good day, thank you. Joe, I'm a new delegate, Jim Nickel from District 3. I'm just going to give you a report on issues I have, if this is appropriate as to what we do in the delegate, since it's my first meeting, and I'm glad to join all of you and happy to be here, I can assure you. I just submitted an alternate delegate, Beverly Snyder, and I'm waiting for the approval of that. In my district, we have a newsletter coming out on Monday, and at the present time, we need 4 zone captains, so I'm putting a notice in our newsletter on Monday to try and recruit some people with the various addresses and districts, or I should say the street addresses and numbers within that district or that zone. I met with my committee, the social committee, and we have a county fair coming up on June 21st. It'll be in the South Clubhouse, games and what have you for the time of the season. And we've already set up 4 events for next year. I handed out 6 of 7 newcomer welcome packs. People had moved in here in the fall, and we never had to get together because of the COVID-19. And I had a great rapport with the people, and everybody was happy, and they had a few issues, which I resolved. So that was a good event. As far as my EPAP, I noticed that I have 3 vacancies, which I will try to fill in the very, very, very near future. And I thank you for being here, and I'm enjoying it immensely. And that was a great event last week, the orientation. Well done. One other thing, please, I wanted to ask Chris or Jason. I've had questions about the pool opening. Do I understand correctly that the main pool is opening today with this event?
It is open.
Thank you. And I'm on Lakeside. I have a pool there. What is the opening date of that, please? May 1st. It opened up last week. It did. Very good. I see chairs stacked, so can I take them down and set them up? There's no charge, actually. Very good.
So for the subs, yeah, May 1st, and we'll make sure the chairs are down for the
thank
sub
you.
association.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, David. Loretta? Barbara?
No comment.
Okay. I guess I'm the last on the list. I, again, would like to stress that we need some changes in regards to the assembly meeting. If any of you have any ideas how the agenda could be changed, what new subjects we could, I would enjoy having any comments from any of the delegates or the alternate delegates. Please remember that the assembly does not mean 23 delegates. The district delegate assembly consists of 46 members, 23 district delegates and 23 district alternate delegates. And we would like to have the alternate delegates be a little more active, and that is the delegates' job, to keep them active in your community. Okay? If I could read my own writing, I'd be wonders. I am leaving on a trip tomorrow, so I'm sure that if any of the new members have any questions, you can call Jim. I would suggest you call some of the delegates that have been around a little way, like Evelyn, or call Linda. Anyone that might have a little more experience than some of the new ones, or you certainly can call any board member. I know they welcome phone calls most of the time, and also the administration for assistance. We are a community of friends, and it's up to us to make it that way. Okay. Linda was extremely kind in getting a card that we can send to Chloe Sidwell. I would like to pass this around, and I would like all of you, please, sign the card. So we'll start it here, and as you get around to you, Chuck, then you can pass it over to Chris, okay? Now, we have comments from our membership, from our HOA. Go ahead, sir.
Ken Johnson, Birdie Drive. And Joe, I appreciate all the time and effort that you've put in the district delegate assembly as chair. And I hope you don't take the comment negatively, but I think I'd like to see you work on a better teamwork and collaborative support for this district delegate assembly. I think we need an establishment of a strategy and plan for the management. I'd like to see us have a chair and 2 co-chairs and somebody that's been chair to be on an advisory role. And why I'm bringing this up is I think there needs to be more interaction. It needs to move through the organization so everybody kind of knows the roles and responsibilities, and that the co-chair and the chair on a quarterly basis would run the meeting and they would learn through that process. Then we should establish, again, term limits, and that will allow for more people to be willing to step up to the plate, and then everybody should be assigned certain types of roles to help in building the agenda. And maybe we need to change the agenda around where you have more handouts by the setting, and you look at that, and we have more discussion internally, and you discuss some subjects. For example, the survey that's out by a resident, legit, is trying to look at some ways of presenting surveys to the community. Inside of the last survey that you had, Joe, for the restaurant, or not the restaurant, but the communication, a 17% response rate is considered very good. Response rates between 5 and 30% are typical, and you can get reliable results from it. I think that the community, the board of directors, and assembly, district assembly need to look at the survey process with the communications committee. We need to look at different ways of reaching our community and how it's done. You need to determine if the email, a text message, or a phone call is needed to let people be aware of it. There's things like SurveyMonkey that can be used at a nominal cost that can be reached out in electronic mode for those that cannot use and would not like to use paper. So somewhere, I think that listening to the discussion, I'll volunteer one more time, and there's several of us will volunteer. We'll go to the board if they want to establish a survey committee, or we'll go to the communication committee. Some of us have had extensive experience and research and know how to conduct surveys. And for example, are you reaching the household in the survey, or are you reaching the resident in the survey? The one that was on communication did not ask for each resident. I don't know if it asked for each household, so that's why you may have gotten some different results. I just think it's an important time that we look at a better way to capture feedback and information, and we're still not doing a very good job. I wish you all well in your new roles and responsibility, and the best to each one of you. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Mr. Day?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name's Don Day from District 12 in Pass Action. I'd like to check the temperature of the district delegates for a second. How many of you folks are upset and concerned about the warehouse going in across the street? How many of you think we should fight the city and try to cancel this whole thing? Okay. Well, I'm here to tell you about a door-to-door fundraising activity that's being started under Pass Action. It's scheduled to start the week of June 16th, and I feel very good about the whole activity. After reading through the 5 causes of action and the lawsuit that was filed, I think we've got a pretty good case. Obviously, when we get attorneys involved and cities involved, there's no guarantee on how this case is going to play out. But after I looked at the 5 causes of action, and they're available, you guys can look at them yourself, I'm very confident that this is a fight worth fighting. I really need your help to get this project off the ground, though. Joe, could you say a few words about the ability of the delegates and their assistant delegates and the residents to get involved in this project?
The delegates and the alternate delegates are elected by the people within their district, or they're approved when they volunteer in case the election doesn't find us a candidate. It is up to the individuals, the operating officers, the chairperson and the vice chairperson has no power to dictate to the district delegate as to what they can and cannot do unless it's in the CC&Rs in the bylaws. I have to state that to you, John. Okay. So we can suggest, we can cajole, we can almost do anything if you want, but we cannot say that you will or will not do this. Okay?
Thank you very much. I think that's important because I really need all of your help in getting this project kicked off. There's three things that I could use. First of all, anybody willing to help out with the door-to-door would be great. But the first thing I need, and the most difficult thing to do, you guys all know your neighbors. You have zone captains and so forth that are out there talking to your residents. The committee that we put together to kick this thing off, we really need some names from each of you of people in your neighborhoods that you feel would be good and comfortable going door to door asking for donations. Is that something you guys think you could provide at some point? Excuse me?
There's no soliciting in Sun Lakes. My neighbors will shut the door in my face.
Okay. We have gone door to door for different activities, and we've been received pretty well. And that's what we're going to try to do. I think there's a strong feeling that this...
Okay.
Go ahead, Joe.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think you have to check with the board president or the board of directors in order to do that. Randy, I think that is something maybe the two of you ought to talk about. And I'm speaking for the assembly because of the
Yeah, I think it would be best
conflict.
for if you could submit your proposal, to the board, and we could discuss it at a either executive or open session. That would probably be ideal. Thank you.
That'd be fine. I have no problem having anybody review it and approve or disapprove the project. But thank you for your time, and thank you for volunteering. Thanks.
We, of course, know that this is probably the most worthwhile subject at the moment at Sun Lakes Country Club. It is really important because it affects all of us and will affect us perpetually in the future. We know that it is a basic problem with the city of Banning because we're not the only community and the only area that's going to see a distribution center go in. So there are a lot of people, a lot of small organizations that are looking to Sun Lakes to see what we're doing and where we're going with this. I can only ask all of you to help wherever you can or suggest your people help. I know they're getting help from a lot of our residents, but obviously they need more. Are there any other questions on the part of the delegates? If not, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you for attending.